With winter finally loosening its icy grip on Yuanshen Stadium, archers from around the world clutching bows and arrows have come back outdoors to shoot in Shanghai. China playing host to the World Cup for the 6th year in a row. More than 300 elite athletes traveling here from more than 40 countries to kick off the new season, including a team from North Korea. While there are new faces in this crowd, some familiar ones are missing. South Korea's Oh Jin-yek did not make the trip to Shanghai, while his teammates Kibo Bae and Yuno Ki failed to qualify for South Korea's women's squad. And Deepika Kumari is not on India's travel roster for Shanghai either, as she failed to qualify for her nation's team. Of course, as usual, there were early round upsets. But as usual, we have also seen some notable performances in this remarkable city. In compound, the remarkable Sarah Lopez tied her own world record, and the American teams took home a pair of gold medals. Now it's time for the compound archers to yield the spotlight. It's Recurve Sunday in Shanghai, with a bounty of gold up for grabs in the financial capital of the Far East. World Archery's outdoor season about to take flight as the action shifts from Yuanshen Stadium to the River Boulevard. Wherever you happen to be watching, ni hao, bonjour, hola, merhaba, konnichiwa, privyet, shalom, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, good day mates, and welcome to the first of 4 stops on the Outdoor World Cup Tour that stretches from spring through summer and into autumn, with the World Cup finals this summer in September in Lausanne. Along with Canada's Crispin Duenas, bronze medalist from last fall's World Championships in Belek, I'm Carl Archie, and we welcome you to the banks of China's Huangpu River, our scenic venue for this weekend's competition. The weather today, still a little bit wet, Crispin, but not anything close to what we had yesterday for compound.
Yeah, I was looking at all the conditions yesterday. I was out and about around the city. I didn't get to make it out to the competition yesterday, but it was just pouring. And I was kind of happy that I wasn't shooting in this weather, but I was kind of feeling it for those archers that had to shoot in this weather. I also saw that Sarah Lopez, world record to get into the medal matches, had a really unfortunate first end. And I mean, unfortunately, that's the way things happen in this type of competition, but I mean, it just shows that even the best can be trifled with weather, with other competitors. But right now, it's going to be the Recurve guys. It's not as rainy. It is still a little misting out there. I took a little walk on the field. It's not as windy as it may look on the screens. It's very calm out there, so just a fine mist and really good shooting to be had.
You talked about the Sarah Lopez situation yesterday. That was a situation where I'm sure she wishes that it could have been a set system instead of the cumulative scoring. We will see the set system now for Recurve here in the team competition.
Yes, that's right. So what has happened this year is that we have World Archery has made it so that the competition for Recurve archers is all set play. And what set play means is that it's basically almost like tennis. So each archer, or each team in this case, is going to shoot a set. And one set is going to be comprised of 6 arrows, 2 arrows per archer. The team with the higher set score out of 60 points is going to get 2 set points for that set. If they tie with the other team, it's going to be 1 set point, and the loser gets no set points.
So the teams we have for the women's team bronze medal match: Japan taking on this squad from North Korea. North Korea scoring a win over the United States in a tiebreaker earlier this week, and then beating Ukraine by a score of 6-2, and then losing a shoot-off with China. Cho Sung-hui, Kang Yun-ju, and Ryu Yun-yang all shooting for North Korea today against the team that's seeded 7th, Japan. Japan defeated the Turks 6-0, scored a 6-2 decision over Mexico, and then fell to Colombia in a tiebreaker. Hayakawa Ren, Keito Ayano, and Nagamine Sayori, the 3 archers competing on behalf of Japan today. So it should be a good match. The world record in this event, by the way, 231 points. South Korea posted that score in Beijing at the 2008 Olympic Games.
So here in set play for the team round, each team is trying to achieve 5 set points first. It's not like the individual competition where they're going for 6 set points. So whatever team can reach 5 first, it is possible to win 6-0, but that's over 5. So whatever team reaches 5 first will be the victor. And what I love about the two teams out here right now is, especially with Japan, they're always smiling. I've yet to see Japanese archers be, show any emotion except happiness on the shooting line. And I think that's a great skill to have no matter how you're shooting.
So a 7 to start it off for North Korea.
일 없어. 앞 세 세우고 쭉 뒤로 상황하자. 쭉 뒤.
And a better effort that time on the second shot.
Now this coach from North Korea, I've seen her around a lot, and I think she does a really good job with her archers. When I competed in the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, she was definitely there. She's very vocal with her archers, and some archers need that, and some coaches are very dependent on keeping a good, tight grasp on their archers and making sure that they're all in a good headspace to shoot their arrows.
So 24 points on those first 3 shots by North Korea. Japan with its first attempt of the day.
Okay.
And a little bit high. Of course, a little bit of a feeling out period always in this first opening salvo.
Yeah, for our team, at least in Team Canada, the first person that we put up on the line is usually what we call the win flag. And we try to have a very strong archer shoot the first arrow to be able to tell everybody else what's going on the field. How is it different from the practice range? Because these archers have not shot any arrows on this field, and nobody has shot on this field yet today. So they have no data to take away to say, everybody started out high and right. So right now it looks like Japan is behind by 1 point. So there is no data for any of these archers to take from. And so they have to, they're everybody for the day's windsock. So everybody's going to be taking away what these archers are doing right now on the field of play.
These are human windsocks.
These are human windsocks.
And North Korea still trying to find the range right now.
일 없어. 앞에 세우고 뒤에 상황하라. 뒤에 쭉. 쭉.
That's a good shot. She was a little shaky on her front side, but I mean, she shot a 2 9s to start herself off for Miss Ryu. And I mean, it's with the recurve, it's a little bit more crucial that you have a really good, relaxed shot, especially in these higher pressure situations. Nice shot.
Cho Sung-hui, 35 years old.
So with the recurve, because you're holding onto the string with fingers, the more tension you have in your fingers when you release the string, the more errant your shots can get. They probably won't go exactly where you wanted them to go or where you were aiming them. So it's really crucial for these archers to get as comfortable as they can, as quick as they can on the field of play.
Shooting at that target 70 meters away. Of course, yesterday it was 50 meters for compound archers.
And interestingly enough, if you look at the 10 ring, I did some calculations at 50 meters and at 70 meters, because of the target size change, the amount of variation that they have in the front arm, that's a 10, that's a good shot. The amount of variation they have in their front arm is actually pretty close. It's about 1/10 of a degree from one side of the 10 ring to the other side of the 10 ring. So both recurve and compound have a tough job on their hands to do on this field of play. And Japan takes the first set.
line.
Yeah, if it caught the line or didn't catch the line, that's the thing about set play. If it didn't catch the line, I think it would have been 50 points, but if it caught, it would have been 51. If I was reading it correctly, I missed the score here. But either way, Japan takes the first set and is leading 2-0 in the race to 5 over North Korea.
After the first set, target 149, target 251.
So there you see the score. No points for North Korea, despite shooting almost the exact same score as Japan, but Japan a little bit better, picking up those 2 set points. Ren Hayakawa, or Hayakawa Ren, excuse me. Hayakawa Ren, Keito Ayayama, and Nagamine Sayori. And Japan taking the early lead. But the beauty of the set system is it's not over.
No,
you have a chance to get right back into it.
It is really not over, and you can really come back from almost anything if you really put your mind to it and shoot well. So it's really not over. If there was a huge score difference in between the two teams, like for example, if Japan had shot a 60 and North Korea has shot a 50. In most matches, that would almost be the match because that's a 10-point separation, which is very hard to come back from. Since it is set play, despite that 10-point differential, it was just 2 set points won on the set. So North Korea is going to be shooting first because they are the team that is behind, so that rule hasn't changed. It typically, you know, quote unquote, puts more pressure on the higher ranked team to shoot last and shoot well.
And North Korea starting to warm up right there. Kang Eun-ju, 19 years old, ranked 52nd in the world with a nice 9.
아빠를 먼저 세우고 뒤에 쭉.
Using a little body language there.
That was an interesting shot, but I mean, whatever she did, she put it in the 9 ring, and it
I
worked.
do that when I'm bowling, Crispin, and it never works like that.
연속 쭉 단번에.
Choi Sung-hui, 35 years old, looking for her first World Cup medal. Beautiful shot.
That's a good 10. So if North Korea is anything like South Korea, once they've dialed into the middle, they're going to be going at it and just pounding the center of that target.
Some spectators taking in the action from the Huangpu River.
I get very dizzy holding binoculars on a floating boat. It's a little longer shot than we'd like to see, and she's shaking a bit.
자,
Keito Ayano, 21 years old.
Ball.
자, 우리 힘내서.
So Ms. Keito,
마지막까지.
who won a team bronze medal at stage 2 in Antalya last year, going after a bronze medal here in Shanghai at stage 1, 2014.
자, 스타트. 초이스
It's an 8 low,
ました
so
右下のカメラ見てみて
Nagamine Soyori, who is only in her 3rd international competition, finds herself in the bronze medal match. And now it's Hayakawa Ren, 26 years old and a team bronze medalist in London.
ちょいいいとこいいとこいいとこいいとこいいとこ
see how happy they are? I love it.
Indomitable spirit.
Yeah. I mean, that's a skill to not let anything affect you and just be happy all the time.
We should emulate that.
Yeah, I really should.
We
That's
should
a
all.
good shot.
Yeah.
That's a 10. That was right beside her first arrow.
So North Korea is starting to warm up, get into the groove a little bit.
앞팔 세우자. 운양이 앞팔 딱 세우라.
They trailed 2-0 after the first set.
가자. 좋아. 옳지.
And they're all in the yellow rings.
And lots of time for their last archer, 30 seconds. On average, you should be giving about, you can average 20 seconds per archer per arrow. And so the fact that she stepped up to the line with about 35 seconds, this team is giving her, the anchor, a lot of time.
Cho Sung-hui, limited experience on the world scene. And that time lands in the 6 ring.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate with the start that they had.
It's a good opportunity for Japan to take advantage of, though.
攻めよ
3 strong shots right here. And they can take a commanding lead in this match. Keito Ayano,
うさあよし9ナイスショッ
Deal 1.
solid 9.
トナイスショットだナイスショット
So 2 more 10s will take the set.
ああいいとこいいとこ
So
So, looks like North Korea.
yes, North Korea will have this set because Japan, if they shoot a 10, will only score 53 points, and North Korea winning the set by 1 point, bringing the set score tied to 2.
惜しい
Essentially kind of a free shot right there for Hayakawa Ren.
Yes.
Do you experiment in that situation a little bit? Try something just so you have that knowledge that you might be able to use later in the match, Crispin?
It would depend. It really would depend on what the situation is on the field of play. If it was a really windy day and you know that, let's say that your first 2 arrows were way out left because the wind was blowing left, maybe you might aim right and see if that 3rd arrow, which could be your sighting in arrow.
There's nothing to be lost by doing that.
Exactly, yeah. So, but some other teams like this, on this one, I would have just aimed for the middle and shot a good shot and make sure that I still had my good form and everything despite the rain. Because even though it's just misting out there, it does play havoc on an archer's finger tab.
멋있어. 잘해. 잘해.
So a finger tab is that piece of leather that is between the fingers and the string, and when it gets wet, it starts to do weird things, and archers typically don't like those weird things that it starts to do. It'll start to stick to the string, it'll behave a little stiffer.
And that starts to play in your mind.
Exactly, so you might want to make sure that your equipment is still working properly. So for me personally, I would just aim in the middle and shoot the shot. Having said that, I haven't shot any international team rounds using the set system, so I can't say from personal experience I've done this, but I know that in individual competition, I just get up there and I shoot.
When you won your bronze medal, it was a beautiful day on the beach in Belek.
It was a beautiful day, and that's a day that sticks in my mind.
We'll talk more about that as the day progresses right here in North Korea, tied at 2 in the match. Shoots an 8 on the first shot. Kang Yoon-ju, 19 years old.
She didn't look very happy when she released that shot, and was at 8 outright. Really need subtitles with the coaching here.
You would love to know what she's saying.
I would love to know what she's saying, because
it is a constant stream of coaching.
So I'm wondering if she's saying, like, shoot a stronger shot or be more relaxed. I mean, it could go either way. And all arrows are off to the right, but it's showing on our wind meter here that it's not doing anything much. Maybe a little bit out to the right, but it's mainly a headwind, and sometimes a headwind is a little bit more difficult to shoot in for some archers.
So a slow start in the third set for North Korea. And Japan, with Keito Ayano shooting first, also shooting to the right.
To the right, yeah, and that's weird, because the flags aren't moving on the field that we can see on the screen here. And I'm trying to look for any other thing, but there's no trees. Like some venues have trees that you can
gauge the
gauge.
wind, yeah.
Exactly, especially on.
Oh, she gauged that one well.
Yeah, I guess.
That's her second 10 here in this match. Nagamine Sayori.
But like I was saying, you want to look at the tops of trees. You don't want to look at flags that are kind of at head level, because that's not where your arrow is arcing. So arrows do go up and come back down.
Come back down, right.
So the higher you can see your gauge at the approximate height that your arrow maxes out at, that's a better gauge to use than, say, the flag that's on top of the target downrange.
Ms. King cashes in for North Korea. She was on the 2013 North Korean team, which won a bronze medal at the Asian Grand Prix in Mongolia. Now Ryu Yoon-hyang, 35 years old, been competing outside Korea the last 4 years. And the final shot of this set for North Korea.
Oh, nice shot.
Well done.
That's a good way to finish.
Well done by Choi Song-kyu.
She didn't come off the line shaking her hand like she did the last set, so I think that one she was a little bit more relaxed off the fingers. Sometimes when you see an archer shaking their hands off, they're like telling their hand to be more relaxed. I'm not sure if exactly that's what she was doing, but that's what I do.
There's some joy and happiness for Japan.
You can see on the screen that the rain is starting to get a little heavier on the field of play. It's not just a mist anymore.
Release, and just inside the line for a 9. So Japan in good position to take this set, regain the lead in the match.
So a 6 or better will take the set. There it is. And Japan is now in the lead 4-2 in set play. Oh.
Yes, 4-2.
4-2, yes, that's right.
4-2. Japan took a 2-0 lead after the first set. North Korea came back to tie it after the second set. Now Japan leads it 4-2 and could wrap it up in this next set. We were talking a moment ago with Crispin Duenas about his bronze medal at the World Championships in Belek. I haven't really had a chance to publicly congratulate you on that, but I thought it was a terrific moment.
Thank you. No, it was a good moment for me, because everything came together for me in that match. Like my process that I went into it with. And
you're talking about years
yes.
of getting there.
Yes, I've been shooting for, at that point, 13 years on the shooting archery for 13 years and being on national teams for 11 years. That's counting my junior years as well. But that's 9 years on the senior team. But again, I came into that match with a goal, a mindset, and a purpose to do what I do all the time. And I remember going back and watching the commentary on YouTube, and it sounded like Jay Kaminsky was saying that I looked like I was anxious. Well, you know what? I kind of was, and I wasn't going to.
Understandably so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a medal match, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a medal match at a world championship level. But I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to fight being anxious. If I'm going to be anxious, let's get anxious and let's do it. And
use that, maybe
exactly.
the adrenaline on your behalf.
Yeah, I was making archery kind of like luge. I was just trying to be get my fill of adrenaline from archery. That's a nice shot.
That'll get the adrenaline going for North Korea. Kang Un-ju, 19 years old.
거기서 준비 따가라. 앞발 딱 세워.
Great start in this fourth set for North Korea as they try to come back and tie this matchup at 4-all. Second shot a little bit to the right again.
I know that she doesn't know English, but it kind of looked like she said, "What?" when she released that. So,
not what she was expecting.
Again, I don't know if that's wind or if that's a wet tab, because if the leather on your finger tab, like what we were talking about earlier, does get saturated enough, then your grooves start to open up because it's not the way your equipment has been tuned, because you don't tune with a wet tab. So it's something that you have to keep, no pun, keep a tab on.
So Murphy's Law is always at work in archery.
You always have to be always vigilant.
There's always something.
Yes, exactly.
So many factors. Keito Ayano back inside the 10 ring.
And from personal experience of shooting in the rain, I've shot in probably what you saw in the compound matches yesterday. In our 2013 trials in Canada. That's a good shot. Our 2013 trials were just soaking wet. Everything was wet. My waterproof scope became non-waterproof. That's how wet it was. And the one trick that I used up there, and that some people have seen me do, and I'm thinking that they might have copied me on this one.
Another great shot.
Japan is really wanting this. Little sidebar note, Japan just needs to tie Korea in this set to win the match.
That's right. One
so
more point.
I was trying to keep my tab in a Ziploc bag when I wasn't shooting, just to minimize. That's a good 10. Just to minimize the amount of water that got to my tab. Keeping it in a plastic bag was, I think, one of the benefits that I learned in shooting in the rain, and shooting that much rain.
Seems as though, I mean, you need so much focus anyway, but on a day like today or yesterday, you've got to focus even more, which obviously North Korea is doing a nice job right now with these last 2 arrows.
So potential 55 points, given that this next shot could be a 10. That's an 8.
Low.
So
Cho Sung-hui.
53 points for the set. And Japan has 5 points to play with here, I believe.
A little bit of a cushion to play with.
Yes.
Look at those fans in the stands coming out on a rainy Sunday morning in Shanghai.
Sorry, my mistake. 6 points to play with, because if they tie, they still win.
Good start. Keito Ayano. He was 7th this year at the Asian Grand Prix as an individual competitor. And here's the least experienced competitor for Japan, Nagamine Sayori, and she's really been shooting well.
She shoots a 10.
She has been strong for Japan. Japan needing 5 to win. And they've got one of their best on the line right now, Hayakawa Ren, 26 years old and a team bronze medalist in London. And she puts the match away as Japan wins the set, takes the match 6-2.
That was a very good inaugural match for the set play system on teams. So well done to these women. And I mean, congratulations to Team Japan. They deserve it. And Team North Korea, that's great shooting out here, and to not go to as many international competitions as some of the other teams here and be able to come out and go to the bronze medal match, it's a very good showing.
有这样一个好的成绩。
So Japan took the early lead. North Korea tied it up in the second set, but then Japan takes the next 2 sets and wins it 6-2. And if you thought that they were smiling before, there are going to be some big smiles on the faces of those 3 young ladies, Hayakawa Ren, Keito Ayano, and Nagamine Seori. Congratulations to Japan on the bronze medal performance here at stage 1 of the 2014 archery outdoor season in Shanghai. So that'll make it a sunny day for those 3 archers.
Coming off the field of play, knowing that you're going to be getting a medal at the end.
It's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Good day's work. And they will exit along with the team from North Korea. Good to see North Korea here competing. Of course, we've got another Japanese team coming up a little bit later on this morning. We'll see the men competing for the gold medal.
And the men's team is a very strong team, and they've got 2 extremely strong archers, and that would be Takaharu Furukawa and
Kikuchi Hideki?
Yes, Mr. Kikuchi. I mean, those 2, I've shot against Takaharu and I've shot against Kikuchi, and they're both extremely strong, showing how strong Japan is in both their men and their women's teams.
So we'll see Japan in just a little while. A chance for Japan to medal twice in the team competition this morning in Shanghai. But first things first, let's go to the women's team gold medal match. And this will be a chance for the hometown fans to get excited because it's China taking on Colombia. Colombia, the 3rd-seeded team, blanked Poland this week, then got a 4-set win over Mongolia before winning a shoot-off against Japan. So let's take a look at the 3 archers representing Colombia. And it's a strong contingent. Ana Maria Rendon, Natalia Sanchez, and Mayra Alejandra Sepulveda from Colombia. Shooting here in soggy Shanghai, where the wind has died down. Just a little bit of a wisp of a wind blowing right now. Now the team from China, seeded first. What a week they've had. Had a 6-2 win over Kazakhstan, a 5-4 win over the Russian Federation, and then a 5-4 win over North Korea. And you can hear the crowd already, Crispin, getting fired up for this match.
Well, I hope they're fired up. I know that the Chinese take great pride in their sports teams, and we've got 3 great shooters here to show Team China, or show China that Team China is one of the best in the world.
Cheng Ming, Fang Yuting, and Zhu Jing. 3 excellent archers taking on 3 very good ones from Colombia. Ana Maria Rendon, Natalia Sanchez, and Mayra Alejandra Sepulveda. So final instructions from the judges. The crowd settling in. Eager anticipation here on the River Boulevard as we get set for the gold medal match. Once again, the world record, 231 points.
Unfortunately, the world record doesn't matter anymore because it is set play.
It
so
is
the
set
world
play.
record is now archived and there forever.
So South Korea will be on the board forever.
Exactly. I've got a couple of those records myself, so I'm very happy that those records are staying put. Not world records, but records in Canada and various other places around the States.
China shooting first and shooting well. So a good start for China.
It's a very pink setup. She's just missing a pink sight. And pink gets the job done.
It works, though.
Yeah, it does.
Whatever the color, that worked for Zhu Jing.
Here's a white setup.
So 2 9s and a 10.
So the interesting thing that I wanted to mention about Colombia is we've got 3 very strong shooters from Colombia here, but they're all wearing sunglasses, and that to me is a little surprising just because it's raining out. And because it's raining out, anybody who wears glasses on a regular basis will know that water sticks to lenses. And if you know the way light bends, if you have water and light going through water, it actually bends your image. So it'll be interesting to see how Colombia deals with that. Unless these lenses are making, that's way out to the right, unless these lenses are making everything brighter for them and making colors, you know, pop and make everything sharper, the sunglasses could be a detriment to the archers. And they all started out right.
So far, they have not helped the team from Colombia.
Now I won't credit that just to the sunglasses themselves. It could just be the way the practice field was in relation to this field. 8.
First time outside the yellow rings for China.
That's another thing. So another thing that's interesting on the field of play is once you see these archers get to full draw, any recurve archer knows that you have to get through the clicker to make the shot. But if you listen carefully, there's cameras going off.
This is Feng Yuting, 24 years old, a team silver medalist in London with a strong shot to finish off that set. I was going to say end. Excuse me.
So the reason why I mentioned the cameras is because those are clicking noises, and some archers get their adrenaline going and their awareness becomes a lot higher. And that's off screen.
Sepulveda, 18 years old.
I think they might have said 5 for that shot. We're just going to back out the camera here and see where it is.
There it is, down on the lower left portion of your screen.
And Ms. Sanchez has removed her sunglasses. That's interesting.
So already discarding the sunglasses, as does Ana Maria Rendon.
So another thing that you have to remember when you're shooting through sunglasses is that because you're looking through a lens, that's a good shot. There we go.
Good decision.
Yes.
I can see clearly now.
The glasses are gone. But that's when you're looking through glasses and you look at them through an angle, you have something called refraction and diffraction, and light bends at different ways when you're looking through a lens sideways. If you're not looking through it directly at perpendicular at 90 degrees, then you're going to see a distorted image of what's downrange. Combined with the water that's on the lens could have made their sight picture very difficult to see, or in fact very different than what they were seeing before. So I think it was a good move on Team Colombia to put the sunglasses off the eyes, put it on top of the visors, and continue on.
Make the adjustments. And the only harm is they gave up 2 set points to China, so China takes a 2-0 lead. Not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, we haven't mentioned the fact that if it's tied, we also go to a shoot-off.
That's right. So if each team gets 4 set points in 4 sets, so that would be considered a tie in regulation shooting. So that tie would go to the same tie break way that they've done it before, is each archer shoots 1 arrow at the middle, or hopefully at the middle, and
that's the idea.
Yeah, that is. And the team with the higher score wins. And if the score is tied, then the team with the single arrow closest to the center will take the match. Again, that's low left, so
Ms. Sepulveda, 18 years old.
That could be showing her showing how green she is on one of these field of plays, because once you start to get a little tight, or once you start to get a little nervous, sometimes...
Shoot low?
Pardon?
You shoot low?
Yeah, you can start shooting low left, especially on a right-handed recurve, because of your front arm. Suddenly your bow feels a little heavier, and your alignment starts to get a little off, so that's an 8, there it is, and you start to drop your bow arm diagonally low left on a right-handed shooter. And that's exactly what it's showing there. I had a little bit of that problem too. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I had that problem in my matches here. But luckily, my bow weight was high enough, and I've had a little bit more experience than Ms. Sepulveda, that my low left arrows were 8s or 9s. So it's something that she's got to learn at this stage of competition.
Zhu Jing shooting now, 7th in the world rankings, and she fires up an 8. Young lady who earned the silver and a mixed team gold medal in Medellin last summer. Captured a team silver medal in London at the last Olympiad. And Cheng Ming, Or excuse me, Feng Yuting. Now Cheng Ming.
Cheng Ming was second.
Excuse me,
no, she was first.
First,
She was
yes.
first. So watch the bow arm. Let's see if she does it. It dropped a little low left, but it was
Nice adjustment.
much after the shot, so that was a better shot. I think it's a great match to see here. The current World Cup team versus the next location's World Cup team, because the next location is going to be in Colombia. So it's kind of a face-off between the two stages.
Looking forward to Medellin next month. Rendon, who finished 16th in Beijing back in 2008. So a score 50 for Colombia here in this set.
It was a very quick shot, but it was a 10. So
no hesitation for Cheng Ming.
And it's a lot of time to give her teammates get up to the line and just do their shot.
I'm sure Zhu Jing and Feng Yuting appreciate that. Zhu Jing, who won a team bronze medal in Antalya 2 years ago. Nice shot right there.
I said that was a 10, but I think I saw it land in the 9.
Table is set for Feng Yuting, the 24-year-old. So very good shooting by China right now. And the host nation shooting well and taking a 4-0 lead in this match. But still an opportunity. And again, we get back to the set system, the beauty of it. Still an opportunity for the ladies from Colombia to get back into this, but they've got to do it one step at a time.
They need to outright win the next 2 sets in order to force the tie. If they tie with Colombia in a set, then the game is over. Sorry, if they tie with China in a set, then the game is over and China will win because it's a race to 5, not 6. So Colombia needs to win these next 2 sets.
If you're just joining us in the women's bronze medal match, it was Japan knocking off North Korea 6-2. And coming up immediately after this women's gold medal match, we'll have the men's bronze and gold matches as well. And we'll see a team from Japan once again coming out trying to win some medals here in Shanghai. As Colombia trailing will shoot first. Mayra Alejandra Sepulveda, who came close to medaling on Colombia's women's team in Medellin. They finished 6th. And she comes up with a score of 8. Natalia Sanchez, 30 years old, looking for her first World Cup medal.
That's an 8 just low. Colombia needs to start shooting golds
to put the pressure on China.
That's a strong shot. Yeah, there it is.
Ana Maria Rendon.
I think she's shooting one of the higher bow weights of the women on the field of play. She's small.
What would you guess?
I asked her. So when I shot with her last month, she said that she's shooting 47 pounds. I know some men that shoot 47 pounds, but she's really pulling back hard on that string. So she's got one of the advantages on the field of play as having a higher bow weight for her class, which lets the arrow spend less time in the air.
Gets there faster.
Gets there faster. The string comes out of her fingers faster. So
less susceptible to the wind.
Exactly. So it's less susceptible to everything all around. Versus a lower bow weight. But, I mean, again, you have to be able to hold that back and control it. So no matter how high you put your bow weight, if you can't control the bow weight, that's a good shot.
Beautiful shot by Feng Yuting, the bronze medalist in Torino 3 years ago at the World Championships. Sepulveda trying to get dialed in. And low again.
Low left. That's an 8 or 7. That'll be really close to call, but spotters are calling it an 8, and they probably have a better vantage point than we do.
Ahí, vamos.
Natalia Sanchez.
Little bit, she wasn't as clean off the string as I've seen her do before, so that would explain why that arrow's a little low.
Muy fuerte.
And now the 2008 Pan Am champion, Ana Maria Rendon. Wide to the right.
So 51 points for that set for Colombia, and China has, well, China has a very good chance of tying right now.
And there's Cheng Ming, the gold medalist from Istanbul World Cup finals in 2011. Appears to be on the line. Just caught it.
And there's
Xing.
7 to win. There it is, yep.
I know we were trying to do the math in our minds.
Yeah.
Dangerous. So Feng Yuting.
And there's an 8, and China
That's
takes
the
it.
8. So China wrapping up the gold medal in the women's team competition.
In straight sets at that.
An impressive performance.
Well, I think Colombia will just have to take this and use it as fodder for the next team rounds that they'll face China in Medellin in about 3 weeks' time. But congratulations to Team China being able to do this on home turf, showing everybody what type of athletes we have on the field.
So a great performance in front of their fans here in Shanghai. Congratulations to Cheng Ming, Feng Yuting, and Zhu Jing, who were strong right from the get-go, won all 3 sets, and they blanked Colombia 6-0 is the score in this women's team gold medal match. So China takes gold, Colombia takes silver, and Japan settles for the bronze medal. And a proud moment for these archers and their coach. Fans turned out and they were not disappointed by the performance of the Chinese team. Oh, one more picture. Just one more.
Yeah.
Just one more. I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of pictures taken as the winds seem to be picking up just a little bit now here on the River Boulevard. But the sky's lifting a little bit, although it may not appear to be that way on your screens at home. But compared to yesterday, the conditions far more favorable than what we were dealing with about 24 hours ago.
It looks like on the field of play we've got a headwind. Yep, that's right. So the wind is blowing from the target towards the archer, and combined with rain. If you're not wearing a hat, that rain is going directly into your eyes. So either be wearing some eye protection or be wearing a hat. And I would highly suggest a hat.
So fighting the elements out here as we get set for the gentlemen to take center stage here in the Pudong district of Shanghai, the financial capital of the Far East. China cashing in, picking up the gold. And we will soon see Ukraine and the Netherlands taking center stage here for the men's team bronze medal match. And here we go. It is the men's team bronze medal match. Ukraine facing the Netherlands. Ukraine seeded 12th, the Netherlands seeded 7th. But they worked their way through the eliminations, the qualifying. And when all was said and done, they were still left standing and here to face each other in the bronze medal match. First, the team from Ukraine. This week, they defeated the United States 6-0, took out Malaysia 6-2, and then were shut out by the team from Japan. Let's meet the 3 competitors for Ukraine. Dmytro Rachov, Yoro Ivanitsky, and of course, Victor Ruban, 32 years old and the Olympic gold medalist in Beijing. So Ukraine, with a very strong team, taking on the squad from the Netherlands. The Dutchman knocking off the Russian Federation 5-1 earlier this week, then going on to defeat Spain 6-0 before losing to Australia 6-2. There's the man who will lead the Netherlands today, Rick van der Ven, 23 years old, and I think arguably maybe the best male recurve archer in Europe right now, Crispin.
Yeah, he's had a stellar year, especially actually since the 2012 Olympics when he placed 4th there. It seems like every tournament he's gone to, he was always in the top at least 5. So I think he's going to be shooting in the individual matches later on today as well. And I mean, it just shows that he's got a strong team behind him and he can vouch for himself individually on the field of play.
Van der Ven's teammates include Chef Vandenberg and Mick de Bakker. So, good, strong, young contingent of archers from the Netherlands. Rick van der Ven, the old man at 23, Mick de Bakker 22, and Chef Vandenberg 19 years old. Taking on some veterans from Ukraine. And it appears as though Ukraine on target number 1 will shoot first. Hyori Ivanitsky, 21 years old, the youngster on this team, has been competing since 2008. Nice start for Ukraine. Now Dmitry Rachov won the bronze medal in Istanbul at the World Cup finals in 2011. Have not seen a lot of him lately over the last year or so.
Yeah, I don't know what Ukraine's team selection process or anything is, but I agree. I haven't seen him in quite a few tournaments.
Strong archer. Talking about a strong guy, Victor Ruban, the Olympic gold medalist, as we mentioned, in Beijing. Interesting style as he hooks that thumb around the back of his neck. And we'll try to get a better picture of that for you as we go through this match. But 3 9s to start off for Ukraine. And Rick van der Ven to shoot first for the Dutch.
And that's interesting. He started out right, and we saw that in the last match with Colombia. And so maybe it is something on the practice field that changes to the tournament field.
This is Mick de Bakker, 22 years old. Finished 17th last summer at stage 4 in Wrocław, Poland. Posts a 9.
And Chef Vandenberg was the top ranking male in the qualification round. That's a 9, just low. He was actually eliminated by one of the archers we're going to see in the gold medal match today. So Mr. Kikuchi took him out, which was a big surprise to some people because they were expecting Chef to win. But it just shows that anybody at this level, no matter what ranking they get,
there are no guarantees.
Exactly. Guaranteed you're probably going to be facing someone good. That's the guarantee.
On any given day in this sport, as you see the shot go wide to the right for Dmitry Rachov.
And he's not happy with that at all. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't be either.
Walks away, tries to shake it off as Victor Ruban lines up his second shot.
Oh, wow.
He's not going to be happy about that either.
So I think the conditions on the field of play are changing. And I think they're looking, he's like, I don't know what happened there. So I'm looking at the field of play right now, and the flags are blowing, quartering to the right towards the archer. So it's a headwind combined with a left to right wind, which
same spot.
That's 8 out to the
Same
right.
spot as his first shot.
So what's happening there is the headwind is actually slowing down the arrow, and the left to right wind is pushing it out to the right. But because it's already slowed down, it's affecting the arrow much more. So here's the everlasting question with archers: do I move my sight or do I just aim off, which means aim to the left or into the wind? So
basically, we're rolling the dice right now.
Exactly.
Chef with his second shot. Took home a team silver from Belgic last year. Up and coming youngster.
voelde me bijna niet. Als ik die vlaggen achter
It looks like Team Netherlands has taken the first set, now leading 2-0. And I think I just saw Rick van der Ven telling his coach, you know, the arrow went up straight and then you just saw it tumble towards the right, which every archer on this field of play has seen before, where they think that this arrow is going to be going straight towards the middle if you're watching the arrow. And just sometime halfway down range, you just see it start to lose power and start to fishtail a little bit off to one direction. And I believe that's what's happening to these guys right now. But, I mean, they're in the lead, 2 set points to nothing, and it's kind of a comfortable place to be, but you can't get too comfortable at this stage because Ukraine still is, they're still a great team. And so
you look at the talent on that team right there, fully capable of coming back. Victor Ruban, an Olympic gold medalist. And I would say 2-3 years ago, Dmitry Rachov, one of the more dominant archers in the sport.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't let your guard down against Ukraine. You know that they can shoot well, and they've got a big bank of archers that they can pick from.
So all set for the start of the second set. And Ivanitsky to shoot first for Ukraine. Good start. Now Rachov still in that 8 ring. Rachov 17th in London at the Olympics, was 6th at the 2012 World Cup Finals. And Ruban high now. Seems to be searching. They all seem to be searching right now.
Yeah, it's something that sometimes happens to archers. They start chasing their sight, you call it. And it's not something desirable, especially on this field of play.
So back to Rick van der Ven, who at one point has held all 4 European titles, and he fires up a 9.
Houd strak.
And De Bakker.
That's a 7, high left. It's on the high left part of your screen. So maybe he compensated for a win that's not on the field of play anymore. And I'm looking on the field, and the flags are hanging down. So
favorable conditions for Chef Vandenberg, and he takes advantage of those conditions.
And that's another reason why archers would opt to aim off instead of moving their sight, because they know that if it's windy, I'll just aim in this spot. But if the wind dies like it just did, I'll just aim in the middle again and go.
Ivanitsky, 21 years old, on Ukraine's junior men's team, which took home the silver medal from the World Indoor Championships in Las Vegas in 2012. His second 9 of this set. Now Rachov, who's had success here in Shanghai before, won the silver medal at this stage 2 years ago, took home a team bronze medal from Shanghai as well. And he comes up with his first 10.
I think that's the first 10 of the match for the Ukrainians. But it's a great way to follow up that 6 he just shot.
There you can see that thumb on the back of the neck of Victor Ruban, who fires his best shot, one of his better shots. So the Dutch need 27 to tie this set, 28 to take the set on these next 3 shots.
Vloog prima.
There's the start.
9.6 laag.
And of course, the Dutch getting coached by a very good Olympic shooter, Ron van der Hof.
Nice, jongen.
Oh, that was a good shot. That was
Good
a 10.
coaching.
Yeah. So a 9 here gives him a little bit of room just to relax and do his shot, because at this level you should be able to put it into the gold on any given shot.
Chef Vandenberg.
That was a 10.
There you go, and there's the set. Chef Vandenberg coming through with a big shot. Of course, he was on the team that missed out on a bronze medal last year in Shanghai. He does not want to see that happen again, and right now, the Netherlands in control of this match, leading it 4-0, along with the bronze medalist from the World Championships last year in Belek, Antalya, Turkey. That's Crispin Duenas of Canada. I'm Carl Archie, and we hope you're enjoying our coverage, our live coverage here on Archery.tv. First stage of the 2014 Outdoor World Cup season here in Shanghai. And a lot to think about, a lot to consider for Ukraine right now.
Yeah, the wind is looking like it's playing havoc on some of the archers' arrows out there. So it's tough conditions. I will give them all that credit. That it is a little bit tougher to shoot in this, and we can see the flags right now behind the stands. They are moving. So we've got moving air, and it's a moist air. So that means it's a little bit more dense than if it were to be like a dry Arizona air, for example. So the fact that it's moist, the fact that it's moving is affecting the arrows a lot more than some of these archers are actually used to.
I understand the air was moving pretty well in Phoenix, Arizona at the Arizona Cup too.
Exactly, and
dry air, but it was moving.
It was dry, yeah, and it was moving a lot in Belek last year as well. So
exactly,
it's something that every archer needs to be prepared for. Is that you're going to have wind. I don't necessarily say that Belek is going to be a typical thing because, I mean, they were changing the type of scoring round just to accommodate for the wind, and people were wearing, Team Columbia was wearing backpacks.
Weighted backpacks.
Weight them down, exactly. So
just so they didn't get blown over in the wind.
Well, it was their compound team. They're very small girls,
yes.
So they have to anchor themselves down or else they'll be kites.
Small but strong.
Exactly.
Ruban using that thumb to brace himself.
It's an old system of shooting, but it works, as you can see.
Effective on that shot.
He's a man that you need to watch for on the field of play, because if you come up against him and he was, let's say in the ranking round, ranked in the 30-something, don't take the 30 ranking as biblical, because he will come out and he will beat you.
Do not be deceived.
Exactly.
Van der Ven with an 8. You mentioned Van der Ven and his performance at the Olympics. Boy, he came so close to medaling in London.
Yeah, he was disappointed in himself afterwards, and rightly so. But again, you made it to the medal match at the Olympics.
And faced a very good archer, Dai Zhang of China, and took him to a shoot-off.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's nothing to be ashamed about, nothing to be disheartened about. But any archer, whenever they lose, is going to feel a little bit of a sadness going on, no matter what level it's at.
And to come that close at an Olympic Games, an almost medal, and there's an 8 for Chef Vandenberg.
Again, Netherlands needs to tie Ukraine to beat them in this match.
Pick up just one more point.
In the race to 5 in the team set play. That's right.
But Ukraine doesn't seem to want to play along.
No.
Ukraine's fighting right now. Taking a one shot, one set at a time, trying to get this set, get it back to 4-2. Rachov could help them here. That is high and in the 8 ring with that shot.
So a 10 here would guarantee that Ukraine is going to win this set. A 9 still gives the Netherlands a chance to win the medal. 9. So right now, Netherlands needs to shoot 3 10s to take home the bronze medal.
Tall order, though.
Yeah, this first shot could determine it all.
Van der Ven with the bells tolling in the background.
And this set is going to go to the Ukraine. So these next 2 shots for the Netherlands are just going to be kind of feelers. Get your sights back, get your shots back, because we're going to be going to another set.
De Bakker from the left side drills a 10.
And that's a good arrow to have in the bank going into the next set.
Builds confidence.
Exactly, and it says that, you know, I've got my sight, I've got my form. Let's go again.
Good look at Chef and the concentration, the focus, and the nice shot by Chef Vandenberg. But as Crispin Dueñas mentioned, it's not going to be enough. Ukraine will take that set, and things are going to be a little bit more interesting as the Netherlands still leads it, but now by the count of 4-2. So Ukraine coming back, taking that third set. Some nines, 3 9s, a 10 scattered in there in those 6 shots. And after a slow start, Ukraine trying to reel the Netherlands back in. Good look at Ron, chatting with Rick. And great support from the host city here. Nice crowd in the stands.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see so many people out here given the conditions, but I mean, it's a great way to support archery and the World Cup in this great city.
And Shanghai has a great history. This is the 6th year in a row that we've had a World Cup stage here in Shanghai, 7th year overall. And this has been the place where we've kicked things off for the last 3 years. It's become a tradition, along with Antalya.
So interesting thing is Ivanitsky needs to realize that when he's on the field of play, it looks like he's waiting for the clock to start to count down before he steps up to the line. The rules are that there are 2 whistles, and then there's going to be a 10-second wait, and then a single whistle for the archers to step up to the line and shoot. This is showing Ivanitsky's how new he is on this field of play, just because he's waiting for that clock to start. But the rules say that it's the audible signal that tells the archer the time, not the actual visible signal. So Ivanitsky is actually depriving himself of about 2 seconds.
And his team.
And his team, exactly. Because he's waiting for that clock to start counting down. So
and you never know when you're going to need those 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I've been in positions where I've stepped up to the line with 5 seconds on the clock and still had to get an arrow off.
Right. If you only had 2 more seconds, it would have been a little bit different.
Yeah, I still got the arrow off and I still shot a good shot, but I mean, the amount of adrenaline that you need to be able to do that is massive.
3 straight 9s by Ukraine, but there's a 10. Dead center for Rick van der Ven, setting the table for Mick de Bakker. The Netherlands would like to finish this off.
That's a 10.
And they're well on their way.
We're going to lead off with 2 10s, Chef. No pressure.
We're all counting on you, Chef.
That's a 9.
And he comes through. So the Dutchman in good shape right now, midway through this 4th set, which could be the deciding set.
Again, Netherlands just needs to tie with Ukraine to make it to 5 set points.
Ukraine.
That's a good shot.
They have a lot to say about it before it's all said and done. Ivanitsky in the center ring. Rachov trying to get there as well. And the man who won a team bronze medal at the Athens Olympics in 2004 in the 9 ring. 10 right here from Ruban would make things very, very interesting.
That's a 9. So 55 points.
So 27 to win it.
26 to win it.
26.
$998 potentially. There's a lot of mouth movement going on there.
Whatever he's doing seems to be working.
Yeah, I can't go. He can't complain and I can't comment. Wow, he's really running down the time. That's 23 seconds when he let that arrow go. That's a 9. 20 seconds left.
So an 8 to win it right now. Chef Vandenberg. Again, no pressure, Chef.
He should be able to make the shot. This should be elementary for him.
19 years old, but he's a veteran, and he puts it away. Chef comes up with the right recipe on that shot, and the Netherlands cooks up a win over Ukraine in the men's team bronze medal match. So the team seeded 7th, the Netherlands knocking off the team seeded 12th, Ukraine. And a nice win for the trio of Rick van der Ven, Chef Vandenberg, and Mick de Bakker. Here on an overcast day, but sunny day as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
Van der Ven on the left, Vandenberg in the middle, and de Bakker on the right. Posing for their moment. And nothing feels better than being able to raise that bow up in the air in victory.
Kind of reminds me of hockey teams when they win a game and they circle around the middle and raise their sticks to the crowd.
There's also that cup up in Canada, isn't there?
Yeah, something like the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, something I've heard about that, yeah. We don't see it much in the States.
I don't know, this year you guys will probably see it.
We shall see. There will be better days for Dmitry Rachov, Yuri Ivanitsky, and Victor Ruban.
Nonetheless, still great shooting. It was just that one set where they had a 6 and a 7 way out right because the wind picked up, and we've seen that the wind can really play havoc on some of the best archers in the world. And like take Medellin, for example, last year when Rio Wild missed the target. So everybody is susceptible to wind, so you can't ever get too comfortable.
Fans trying to get comfortable here in the stands in Shanghai on Sunday morning.
Team Kazakhstan, I believe, and a bunch of the local spectators.
As we now get set for the gold medal match for the guys. We once again congratulate the Netherlands on picking up the bronze medal, but now the Aussies and the team from Japan will fight it out for gold and silver. The men's team gold medal match here on the River Boulevard. And the team from Australia seeded 3rd onto the field to play first. These three beat Brazil in a shoot-off, won another shoot-off with France, and then defeated the Dutch 6-2. There's Ryan Tyak. We'll talk a great deal about him as this match progresses. And on the right, with the sunglasses and the beard, Taylor Worth. So a strong team, Taylor Worth, Ryan Tyak, and Matthew Gray, 40 years old. Matthew Gray still out there, still competing, still going strong. Now the team from Japan, seeded 8th. They come in after winning a shoot-off with China. They shut out India and then did the same to Ukraine. So let's meet the 3 competitors for the team from Japan. Furukawa Takahuru on the left, Kikuchi Hideki in the middle, and Ota Shohei on the right. Shohei, excuse me. So the 3rd seed against the 8th seed. And some terrific archers on both of these teams. Taylor Worth, Ryan Tyak. We saw what Ryan Tyak could do at the Indoor World Championships in Nîmes back in February.
Yeah, I think he won the event, right?
He did win the gold medal, yes.
Yes. The interesting one on this team, on the Aussie team, is Taylor Worth. He actually had some problems with obtaining his visa to get here and arrived the morning of the qualification round, like 6 a.m.
That's a little unnerving.
Yeah, it is, because is your equipment going to get there, and you just spent that much time on a plane, and now you got to go shoot a qualification round. But nonetheless, he's ranked in the top 8. That's a great opening from Mr. Furukawa. And so he got there, ranked in the top 8. I believe he's going to a medal match in the individuals tomorrow, and he's here in the team medal match. I mean, this guy can shoot.
Ota Shohei, 22 years old.
Good shot.
2 great shots to start off for Japan. Japan already has 1 medal here in team competition this morning. The women winning the bronze.
The men will come away with a medal. Whether it's gold or silver is the question.
Kikuchi Hideki, 28 years old. So 3 strong shots to start off the match. Now here's Ryan Tyak, who did win the gold medal at the indoor championship in Nîmes back in February, and sticks it just inside the line for a 9. Matthew Gray, 40 years old, holds down a full-time job, has a family, but still finds time to practice and is good enough to be at this level of competition on the World Cup stage.
Very good. Ready.
So 2 9s to start off for the Aussies, and Taylor Worth, 23 years old and ranked 18th in the world, stepping up to the line. I suppose not much will faze him after the story you just told.
He's a resilient kid, so give him that much credit. And that's a 9, hitting, I believe, Ryan Tyak's arrow.
A little bit higher. A little bit higher.
So 9-9-9 for the Aussies. Japan up by 2 points in this set, trying to win 2 set points. And Furukano Takahuru posts another 9. Here is Kikuchi Hideki.
No, this is Ota.
Oh, excuse me, you're right, it is Ota, Shohei. And now Kikuchi, who took home a mixed team silver medal from Shanghai 2 years ago, and a team silver medal here in Shanghai in 2010. Would prefer gold this time.
So 57 points for the first set for Japan. Australia needs 3 10s for these next 3 arrows to tie.
Very good chance.
Tyak on the line, that's a 10. Interesting, as soon as he lets that arrow fly, he's out of there. He's going to leave time for his teammate Matthew Gray.
A little bit of a shake here.
Very good, Maddie. Fine,
He's able to hold it together, though.
Japan takes the first set.
So here's Taylor Worth, who finished 7th in Belek at the World Championships, and he finishes on off with a 9.
No, that was a 7.
Oh, 7,
It
excuse
was
me.
almost off screen, but it was a 7 high left.
Maybe one is higher.
A moot point, as Japan had already wrapped up the set and takes a 2-0 lead over Australia. So Japan with 3 10s and 3 9s to get this party started. And the men from down under talking it over, pumping each other up. Still a ways to go in this match. This, of course, the first stage of 4 stages to be held this summer, this spring. Next month we'll be in Medellin, Colombia, followed by Antalya, Turkey in June. We'll take July off. Although I know you'll be practicing and everybody else will be practicing as well. And then we'll all convene again in Wrocław, Poland in August before the World Cup final in Lausanne, Switzerland in September.
So the interesting thing about Australia as well is this is the only World Cup they are attending this year. So the fact that they're here fighting for a medal, it's a great way to be at your only World Cup.
Ryan Tyak, 22 years old, followed up his win in Nîmes by winning the Australian Open Championship title, and he's wide to the right.
And the wind is picking up on the field. You can see the flags.
It is a big transition going from indoors to outdoors.
Oh, very big, yes. A lot of Canadians have that problem because we have
You have to train, yeah.
very long winters, and we have to get out to the outdoor season and compete with everybody. So it can be a problem, but if you do it properly, you can be good at it.
We'll have to get you down to the Easton Foundation's Archery Center in Salt Lake City.
I train at the one in Florida. I've been there a couple times, but I haven't been to the Utah one. So that's another
I'll pick
option.
you up at the airport. I'll take you over.
But that's another option that a lot of archers have been resorting to. A lot of archers who have longer winters or cold winters and don't have facilities to train long distance will go out to another country, another location that has long distance outdoors so that they can get themselves ready and prepared for high level shooting in the early summer.
Nice roll.
Beautiful shooting by Japan. Back-to-back tens by Ota Shohei and Furukawa Takahuru. And now here is Kikuchi Hideki.
Okay.
Japan in good shape, though, here in this set. And the Aussies needing to bear down right now. Try to get back into this set. Better shot by Tayak. Good look at Matthew Gray, who was ranked 24th in the world back in 2010. He really likes the set system being used now here in Recurve in team competition. I think his quote was, you know, us Aussies, we may not be as talented, but we fight as hard as anybody else. And if you'll battle, you have a chance in the set system.
That's very true, and that goes for anybody, but he's definitely right, and he's hit the nail on the head right there.
And Taylor Worth hits the 9 ring.
11 o'clock, 9:08.
So Japan needs a 24.
And the way they've been shooting, you would assume they would score that or more. Although it's dangerous to assume in archery or anything.
Well, 24 averages out to all 3 arrows being 8s, but the first one was a 10 already. So
takes a little bit of the pressure off of Ota Shohei.
Okay.
9.
Mr. Kikuchi.
5 to lead. So anything blue or better. Having shot against him, I know he can do that.
Nice shot.
Focused, pinpoint precision in the 10 ring, and Japan takes the second set and takes a commanding 4-0 lead.
That's amazing shooting because they just put down 2 ends, I will say ends, of 57 for winning both of those sets. So that's, given set score, given match play, whatever type of format you're shooting, 3 points down from perfect is a very good way to shoot your match.
Japan came out ready to roll, and right now on a roll, leading 4-0 in this match. Needing just to split the next set, as you've already mentioned, Crispin. Crispin Duenas, by the way, joining us. The bronze medalist from the World Championships in Belgium last year. And as you've mentioned, Crispin, all they need to do really now is split this next set, pick up 1 more point, and go back to the hotel and have a nice lunch.
So yes, it's going to be set system. It is set system, as we can see on the screen here. But unlike individual, the race is not to 6 set points. So 6 set points doesn't win. It does win, but 5 set points actually wins in team set play. So Japan just needs to tie Australia in this next set to win.
So Tayak to shoot first.
Come on, Ryan.
Let's go. Give me some of the feet.
Well, it's an 8 or a 9. It's really close.
The asterisk goes up by that score, as Matthew Gray, who would love to keep shooting and go to Rio with Australia in 2 years, nails a 9. And here is Taylor Worth, who saw his streak of wins over Brady Ellison come to an end this past winter, as he dropped the bronze medal match to Brady Ellison in Nîmes. Good shot, though, by Taylor on that attempt. And Australia putting up a fight. Japan leading 4-0 here in the third set.
Okay.
And Mr. Furukawa with a 9. Ota Shohei. His 4th year on the international scene.
A little bit of a bobble there.
Okay.
Kept it in the 9 ring.
さあ、しっかりっていこう。しっかり。
And a 10 right here would put Japan ahead.
Yeah, there it is.
And there it is.
Well, potentially ahead because Australia's first arrow was at 8 asterisks.
You're
so
right.
It could be an 8 or a 9. You never see the scores go down. So Australia could have 28 points.
Conceivably, yes.
And that's important to know coming in for the last few arrows.
Tyak looking at the world through orange-colored glasses. Strong shot for Ryan Tyak. Matthew Gray's right. The Aussies are battling.
A little bit of a shake right now. There he goes.
Held it a long time, but got it to go in the 9 ring.
And that shows his experience, just with how much he's shot in the past, and we call it arrows in the bank. He's got so many arrows in the bank that even if it doesn't feel right, he can still put it in the middle.
3, 2, 1.
With 1 second to go,
Very good, very good.
Taylor Worth shoots a 9.
And that's why you put somebody who can speed up their shot as a last person, just in case that happens.
Furukawa Takahuru.
Okay.
And his coach is right, it was okay. That's okay too.
9 or 10, yeah.
Ota Shohei setting it up for Kikuchi Hideki.
So a 10 would guarantee the win. A 9 would be a little bit more difficult, and we'd have to get some arrow calls. There it is.
No question about it. That
Japan
removes
wins.
all doubt.
Wow, that was very good shooting. Coming through with a 10 on the last arrow for the pressure shot for the medal. It's a tough thing to do.
With emphasis, Kikuchi Hideki comes through with a 10, dead center shot. So there'll be no suspense, there'll be no drama. The judges will still go down, take a close look at that score to see if it was an 8 or a 9, but it's a moot point at this point as Japan strong right from the very start. And for the second time today, we have seen in the gold medal match the victorious team come away with a 6-0 victory. A little bit surprising in gold medal matches to see teams win 6-0.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have to show that, you know, like, these teams should be here. There's no question about it. But another thing that you could also argue is that both teams made it there, so they should both be kind of at a comparable level. But to show that there's one team that really has the experience, the fight in them, the number of 10s in them, it's really good to see that some of these teams can come out and just lay it down, win 6-0.
Well, Japan certainly did that in the men's competition, and China certainly did it in the women's competition. China winning the gold medal match 6-0 on the women's side, and on the men's side, Japan coming out, firing strong right from the start, scored 57 points in the first set, took that first set, took the second set, and wins the third set to take the match 6-0. So some outstanding shooting here in Shanghai at stage 1 in the Recurve men's competition and women's competition, team competition. There's the eye in the sky.
But it's not looking at traffic.
No, it is not. Hovering over the field of play here in the River Boulevard, where our crew from Hit the Roof has provided the great pictures and sights and sounds, and will continue to do so coming up this afternoon, when we'll have the mixed team matches as well as the individual recurve matches, and some great ones on tap coming up this afternoon, or evening or morning, wherever you happen to be watching.
Exactly. Out
there in this great wide world of ours. And we'll try to give you some more of the beautiful pictures of the Shanghai skyline, an amazing city here with some tremendous architecture, one of the great cities of the world. And obviously, if you ever have the chance, we highly recommend that you stop in Shanghai and visit.
Go shopping.
Go shopping. Check out the fine cuisine. Across the river there is the Bund, the Art Deco district. Nanjing also on the other side of the river.
We actually went touring around yesterday during the compound matches and saw a Buddhist temple. And
I was going to ask what you got to see.
Yeah, myself and a couple other guys from my team and my coach went out to see a Buddhist temple and gardens, and we went to this huge camera mall where all they sold was camera equipment. It was pretty crazy. But
did you get a good deal? That's the question.
One of my other teammates bought a camera, yes, and I think he got a better deal than what he could have gotten back in North America. And I think it's a legit, real camera, like not a fake. So I think he made off well there. But there's a lot of stuff to do in Shanghai, and the subway system here is
tremendous.
Very well. Yeah, it's very well put together. There's good maps that you can easily follow. A lot of the signs are in both Chinese and English, so if you're an English speaker, you can get by. If you're not, then we played a game of matching the symbols, and we weren't we weren't very good at that, so we had to rely on the English. But either way, it's a great city. It's very expansive. There's a lot to do, and you can really enjoy yourself here. Besides just watching archery.
Lots of friendly people over here. It's a very safe city, very clean city, and and really remarkable for a city of 20 million people.
Yeah, I'm coming from a city of 3 million people. I can't imagine how 20 million people fit in here, but they somehow do.
They somehow do. The soaring skyline of Shanghai towering above our field of play here on the River Boulevard in Shanghai, as we get set for the presentation of the medals to the victorious teams in the recurve team competition. Stage being set, and Dean Alberga with his camera always at the ready to capture those great images that you see on archery.com or archery.org, excuse me.
He's our official photographer, so yeah, all of his pictures go up on archery.org and on his personal page, Dutch Target. And so if you want to see some great pictures of all of the greatest archers in the world, he is the person to turn to.
There's a nice way to spend your Sunday out on the yacht, watching World Cup archery from the Huangpu River, and that is the Bund that I was talking about moments ago, that district, an Art Deco district. A lot of those buildings constructed back in the 1920s. Wow. Has a great atmosphere over there, wonderful restaurants, and great shopping, as you mentioned already. So much to see, much to do here in the financial capital of the Far East. In fact, on Monday, I may catch one of those boats and go for a little bit of a cruise. Love the water.
It is interesting when you do go on a cruise, because I have done it before. They've had some closing parties here in Shanghai where it is a cruise. So it's something to bring a camera along with, because you get to see a lot of the riverside, the city line, some of the typical Shanghai buildings, like the I don't know what they call it, but the needle. I call it the needle because it almost looks like the Space Needle from Seattle. But it's a really nice, relaxing ride to have a floating tour of the city.
Get a great perspective on the skyline, including the Oriental Pearl Tower, which is one of the more astounding structures on the planet, I think. So now we get set for the presentation of the medals, and first we bring out the women. The women's teams, if you're just joining us now this morning, it was Japan facing North Korea in the women's bronze medal match. And in the women's gold medal match, it was China taking on Colombia. And there are the dignitaries on hand to help with the awarding of the medals. And the first team to be recognized, the team from Japan, winners of the bronze medal. Japan taking a 2-0 lead in their match against North Korea. The Koreans came back, tied it at 2-all, but then Japan took the next 2 sets and the match by the final score of 6-2. So congratulations, obviously, to Hayakawa Ren, Keito Ayano, and Nagamine Seori on their bronze medal performance. And again, that ever-present smile. Of course, we felt that when we were in Tokyo 2 years ago for the World Cup final. Great hospitality there as well.
Raining there a lot, too.
Raining there quite a bit, yes, yes. Bring your rain gear.
It lives in the bottom of my boat case. Because that one tournament where you don't go with rain gear, it's going to pour.
Guaranteed to pour. And it was coming down in buckets yesterday. Fortunately today, much better conditions. Overcast skies, but just misting out there right now. Congratulations to the team from Colombia. Colombia came in seated third. Ana Maria Rendon, Natalia Sanchez, and Mayra Alejandra Sepulveda. They will come away with the silver medal, being congratulated by the host nation, China. China seeded first, and they lived up to their advanced billing, and how. China, leading from start to finish, did not give up a single set point, and China wins it 6-0 over Colombia. Cheng Ming, Feng Yuting, and Zhu Jing all accepting their gold medals. And I can't imagine a much better feeling than winning a gold medal on your home turf, yes.
Yeah, I would imagine it's a very, very good feeling to be able to hoist up your medal and the trophy there in your home country where everybody can cheer for you and everybody has been cheering for you.
Let's see if we can get a World Cup stage in Toronto just for you and Hugh McDonald.
Well, in next year we have the Pan Am Games, so we've got our chance to do it for our own Olympics. But now, congratulations to China and their national anthem.
The cheer going up from the crowd here in Shanghai as they applaud the effort of the Chinese team. China winning the gold medal, Colombia the silver, and Japan the bronze. Now coming up this afternoon, some great matches. In the mixed team, we'll see Chinese Taipei taking on Great Britain for the bronze medal. And then in the gold medal match, Mexico against the United States. Some stars in that match. Aido Roman, Juan Rene Serrano, Brady Ellison leading the way for the United States as they'll try to pick up a gold medal. And then in the individual competition, Aida will be back fighting for an individual bronze medal. In the women's gold medal match, Zhu Jing, who we just saw win a gold medal in team competition, can make it the daily double. She'll have to beat Elena Richter of Germany. Taylor Worth will be back competing for a bronze medal against Rick van der Ven. Those two have already been out on the field of play, and Taylor will be looking for a little bit of payback, I suppose. And in the men's gold medal match, Kikuchi Hideki taking on Pierre Plion. Excusez-moi. Pierre Plion.
It'll be an interesting match because Kikuchi has already been on the field of play where Plion has not, and both Worth and Van der Ven have already been on the field of play, so that should be a great match to watch. Not as one-sided as the gold medal match, but if Plion has made it to the gold medal match, he's already a great shooter, so I'm kind of jealous that I don't get to sit here with you to watch that one, but it's going to be a good match.
He's an interesting story, Pierre Plion. Apparently, this is his first World Cup competition. And in his first attempt, he has made it to the gold medal match. He was a member of the organizing committee, helping out his coach in Nîmes, and has helped for several years, I understand, in Nîmes to stage that indoor tournament, which was the indoor championship this year.
Yes.
And then decided he was going to take a stab at it. Came here to Shanghai.
I've seen it done a lot of times.
Lo and
let's go
behold, yeah.
No, I've shot the Nîmes tournament, and it is a very well put together tournament. So good on him for being one of the organizers, and great to see him out here competing.
So now the medals for the men. And Dr. Erdener, the president of World Archery, and a member of the IOC, the executive board. So Dr. Erdener on hand here in Shanghai to present the medals to the victorious men's teams. Once again, if you're just joining us, in the men's bronze medal match, Ukraine faced the Netherlands. The Dutch jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Ukraine took the third set, but then the Netherlands finished it off in the fourth set, winning by the count of 6-2. So bronze medals for Rick van der Ven, Chef Vandenberg, and Mick de Bakker. Van der Ven and Vandenberg were in the bronze medal match a year ago and came up a little bit short, finished fourth. This year they go one better, and they do pick up the bronze medal. And that's a young team, very young team.
I think they're one of the youngest on the field of play, yeah, but quite coincidentally one of the tallest on the field because of the way they grow them in the Netherlands. But yes, they are young, but they have a great program out in the Netherlands to promote archery and produce the best archers that you see on the field of play.
Bright future for the Dutch. And some good, strong young archers there for Australia. Matthew Gray, I should say, the veteran at the age of 40, but Ryan Tyak, 22, Taylor Worth, 23. They'll be on the scene for quite a while to come, I'm sure. They'll take home the silver. I'm sure Taylor's glad his flight made it in.
Yeah.
And your gold medalist from Japan. Japan seeded 8th. But they wind up as the #1 team here in Shanghai at stage 1. The man in the middle, Kikuchi Hideki, we'll see him later this afternoon. He is flanked by Ota Shohei and Furukawa Takahuru. And lots of hardware to take back to Japan. So it's been a good morning for the team from Japan, the land of the rising sun. Bronze medal for the women and a gold medal for the men.
先生们，让我们再次以热烈的掌声向获奖运动员表示祝贺。Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round.
One more opportunity there. The team from the Netherlands taking a selfie.
That's becoming a bigger thing nowadays, so
If they can get all 9 of those guys into that shot, that's pretty good.
we can see if we can beat Ellen DeGeneres' selfie that she took.
Yeah.
And crashed Twitter, but
I've tried, and I'm not very good at it. So if Chef Vandenberg could get the 9 of them into that shot, then that's pretty good.
He's cheering, so I think he did.
I think he got what he was after. The selfie, and he also got his medal, the bronze medal. So it's been a good day all around for Chef and for Rick Vanderven and Mick de Bakker and their coach Ron. Of course, China, a golden moment out here. There's Albina Loganova in the stands today, taking in the action, along with her teammates from the Russian Federation. So you never know who you'll see up in the stands here at these great events. Your takeaway from this morning, Crispin?
Looks like that these both targets on the field of play, we sometimes, I stress that so much, sometimes see that one target has more of a bias for wins than the other target, but on this field of play, we saw that both targets won equally as much. So it was target 2 winning first, then target 1, then target 2.
So no real
one.
advantage as to which target you're shooting at.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There was no advantage on the field of play. These archers were showing how good they are and why they deserve to be in the medal matches that they were in. So we saw some great archery out there, and it's just awesome to see that the gold medals were won in straight sets as well.
So any particular match this afternoon you're looking forward to?
I am
more than any other.
I'm interested to see Plion versus Kikuchi because of Kikuchi's experience and Plion's being new on the field of play, but knowing exactly how everything works and being the beginner on the field. But in terms of the women, Aida Roman has had a great season so far. She's been doing really well. I hear she's living somewhere else other than Mexico right now and training there full time. I can't verify exactly where that is. I've only heard rumors, but I've heard that she's not living in Mexico, training somewhere else with a Korean coach and doing awesome.
Well, we've got to run right now, but we'll be back in just a little while. My thanks to Crispin Duenas. We'll be back with more live coverage of World Cup Archery.